I didn't expect to like this part of the world nearly as much as I do. I'm from western Montana, just south of Glacier National Park, and to be honest, I didn't really think about the eastern half of this state, and I had no idea what I was missing out on. The Northern Great Plains are one of America's greatest resources, full of stunning scenery, dramatic Badlands, a real-life Triceratops, and quite frankly, the biggest sky I've ever seen. Autumn and I are taking off on a classic American road trip through Montana's Great Wide Open. Driving a loop from the Badlands to Breaks to Beartooths through charming small towns and hidden gems I had no idea existed. Our first stop is in the town of Gardiner, Montana, an adorable little mountain town straddling the iconic Yellowstone River. No trip to Gardiner would be complete without a stop at the Roosevelt Arch. This is America's first ever national park entrance and is still to this day the only year-round entrance to Yellowstone National Park. I'm a huge fan of national parks in general. I think it's probably America's greatest idea, and it is so cool to come visit the first ever entrance. We spent a few more minutes goofing around at the arch before making our way back to the hotel. Tomorrow marks the start of our great big Montana road trip. Our plan today is to drive from Gardiner, Montana over to Silvergate and Cook City. So that takes us through the whole northern stretch of Yellowstone National Park, the gorgeous Lamar Valley. You've probably heard of it. It's very well known. There's wolf packs, there's moose, there's everything. It's unbelievable. It's not a super far drive. It's maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but instead of sleeping in, we woke up and the clouds looked ridiculous, so we had to get up on this little hillside, take a look at Slide Lake for sunrise. What an amazing start to a trip. This has been the craziest 18 hours ever. We got to Gardiner, Montana yesterday at 5 p.m. It's only 11 a.m. right now the next day. So we've been in Yellowstone for 18 hours maybe. And we've already seen 5 bears. We've seen elk, deer. We just saw some bighorn sheep. And then we were packing up to leave and a wolf ran by far the closest I've ever seen a wolf. I didn't really get a great shot, but I want to share it with you. Check this out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I told you it wasn't that great. I was excited and it was only for 5 seconds, but you don't get to see wolves very often. That's awesome. Yellowstone is often referred to as the Serengeti of North America, and even though I've been here 100 times before, I am always blown away by just how rich and vibrant these valleys are. We had a ridiculously fun time in Yellowstone today. Just hung out in Silvergate and Cook City, some of the cutest towns I've ever seen in my life. And now we are driving what's supposed to be the crown jewel of the Yellowstone region in Montana, the Beartooth Highway over towards Red Lodge. The cool part is it's closed all winter because it's under 30 feet of snow, and they opened it today, the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. There's a real chance we are some of the first people to drive it for the entire year. Very exciting. But the reason it's been closed is because of weather, snowstorms, blizzards, and unfortunately right now is weather. So I don't know. We're going for it. We don't really have a choice. We got to get to Red Lodge. This is, this is going to be a trip. There were some storms in the area, but that was gorgeous. And we have finally made it to the summit of Beartooth Pass, 10,947 feet above sea level. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to be a tourist. Let's take a photo. The dramatic skies made a beautiful backdrop as we made our way down the pass to Red Lodge for the night. Our drive today is from Red Lodge to Miles City, and I'm excited because I've never explored southeastern Montana before. As soon as we leave Red Lodge today, it's officially the furthest east I've ever been in the state of Montana. And so with that, we grabbed a quick breakfast in town and hit the road out across the beautiful Great Plains towards eastern Montana. Although on paper, Miles City seems like just another cowboy town, it's full of beautiful street art, artisan craftsmen, and even a beautiful local vineyard and winery. But Miles City is also home to perhaps the single greatest hidden gem in the western United States, the Strawberry Hill Recreation Area. That was a beautiful sunset, and Strawberry Hill is supposed to be one of the best stargazing places in Montana. It's actually on Montana's Trail to the Stars, so we're gonna stay out here. We've got probably like 2 hours until it's dark. I'm gonna try to run a little day-to-night time lapse, let this twilight fade into the stars, and these Badlands hills are gonna look so cool at night. I can't wait. Day 3 of our journey takes us to Glendive, home of the world-famous Glendosaurus, a real life-size Triceratops sculpture built in 1994. Just outside the town of Glendive is Makoshika State Park, which is actually the largest state park in the state of Montana. And we're pretty excited. This is really cool. It's Badlands type structures with hoodoos. I honestly had no idea that Montana even had landscapes like this. So we're gonna shoot some sunset. We're gonna stay out for Astro. I'm stoked. Makoshika has not been a strikeout so far. We just found such a cool composition back there. I don't know why I chose to talk to the camera while I'm climbing up this. It was so cool though. We got the starburst. Here, just look at the photos. We spent the rest of the evening scampering around Makoshika, absolutely lost in landscape photography heaven, staying out until 2 a.m. to watch the stars. The next morning, sleep-deprived and starving, we headed to Bloomenvine, perhaps the cutest coffee shop I've ever seen. Built inside an old greenhouse in the heart of Glendive. Nourished and caffeinated, we began the drive to Fort Peck. Fort Peck is home to the Fort Peck Reservoir, the largest body of water in Montana at nearly 250,000 acres of surface area. And the dam that holds this reservoir back is so big that when it was constructed in the 1930s, not only was it the largest dam in the world, but it was the largest dam in the world already when it was just 20% complete. We spent the day at the Fort Peck Interpretive Center, which is absolutely heaven if you're a giant nerd for dinosaurs like us, and then we made our way to our campsite. Our plan was for a relaxing evening with good food by the fire, but Mother Nature had other plans when a massive storm rolled through and treated us to some of the most incredible conditions I've ever seen. This time-lapse shot is obnoxiously long, but personally I feel it deserves to be shown here in its entirety. Day 5 marks the stop I've been most excited for this entire trip, Sleeping Buffalo Hot Springs. A natural hot springs resort nestled between 2 national wildlife refuges, this is truly a nature lover's dream. We spent the day lounging in the hot springs and relaxing after so many long days on the road, and then headed to Bedoin National Wildlife Refuge for sunset. This 15,500 acre wildlife refuge is an incredible wetland habitat for over 250 different species of birds and dozens of other animals. The sun rose on day 6 over the McNeil Slough near Sleeping Buffalo. I've always had a soft spot for lazily meandering rivers, so I just absolutely had to get a bird's eye view before our drive to Great Falls. After 5 consecutive days of photographing sunrise and sunset, plus astrophotography, we were absolutely exhausted. So we made a quick detour to take in the mighty Missouri River, the original path westward for Lewis and Clark. After that, we decided to take it easy for the rest of the day in Great Falls with just a quick stop for ice cream and then a ton of much needed sleep. The next morning, we stopped for a quick hike up to Memorial Falls, one of my favorite little gems in central Montana, before continuing our drive to Livingston. Feeling well rested after a relaxing night in Great Falls and pretty long drive to Livingston today. So we're doing a little hike up to Memorial Falls. It's a short one, but Should be beautiful. Springtime is the best time to go chasing waterfalls. Just feels good to get out of the van and stretch the legs a little bit, you know, after a long road trip. So yeah, this should be nice. The drive to Livingston is absolutely gorgeous, winding through the valley between the Bridger Mountains and the Crazy Mountains, finally arriving in town at the base of these staggeringly beautiful Absarokas. Despite our restful day in Great Falls, we didn't want to pass up a chance for a little more relaxation, so we headed to Chico Hot Springs in the Paradise Valley for dinner and a quick soak. The Paradise Valley seems a perfectly fitting spot to watch our final sunset of the trip, as the quintessential Montana location. The crystalline waters of the Yellowstone River glistening in the sun, surrounded by verdant rolling hills and the stunning Rocky Mountains. As the sun sets on our final evening of the trip, I'm left reminiscing on an incredible week of exploring this state. I don't live in Montana, and I haven't since I was 4 years old, but no matter how long I'm gone, returning feels like coming home, and leaving feels like leaving behind a small part of my soul. Forever kept amongst the pines and rivers, rolling hills and badlands, kept safe in Montana's great wide open.